discussing the vowel E. Now, one thing you should know about this vowel, the vowel E, is that the vowel is a short sound. For some weeks, we treated long sounds, but this is a short sound. And when we talk about a sound being short, we're talking about short in duration, short in quantity. So the amount of time that you spend saying this sound is short relative to the longer sound. It's also vowel number 3 if you're counting the sounds of the English sound system. E is vowel number 3. And like I said, it is a short sound. To produce that sound is quite easy. Most African languages have that sound, so you shouldn't have a difficulty saying it. The sound is E, E, E. I think the Igbos of Eastern Nigeria do not have the sound E in their native languages. Some of them, at least, that I know, do not have that sound, and they end up substituting it with the sound E. And that is what is responsible for certain persons from Eastern Nigeria saying bread when they want to say bread. It's because they do not have the sound E in their native languages. But it is not a sound that cannot be learned. Everyone can learn to say that sound. E, E, E. The difference between E and I is the widening of the mouth. It's a little wider, and also the positioning of the tongue is different. E, I. You can see the difference if you go E, I, E, I. You'll see that there's a difference in the widening of the mouth and in the positioning of the tongue. So that's the sound E. We're going to be looking at spelling variants for the sound. And as we always say on the show, when we talk about spelling variants, we're talking about different ways that the sound can be spelled. And of course, would I say it's a problem that we have with the English language is that a sound or different sounds can have the same spelling variants. So you do not just rely on the spelling of a word to determine the pronunciation of that word. The dictionary should always be your friend. But let's look at the spelling variants for the sound E. And we have spelling variants such as the letter A, AI, AY, E, EA, EI, IE, EO, U, and UE. So you can see that the sound E is spelled in 10 different ways. So if you're one of those who just think that the sound E is spelled with 1 or 2 letters in the English language, no. 10 different spelling variants for the E sound. And what we're going to do next is that we're going to look at word examples. So we're not just going to look at the spelling variants or the different ways they're spelled, we're also going to look at word examples. Taking those spelling variants and seeing different words where the letters say the sound, because that's what spelling variants are. Spelling variants are simply telling you this letter says this sound in this word. So let's look at the first set of words that we have there. And there you have letter A saying E in the word many. Of course, you can think of another word like any. The letter A in many says the sound E. We also have AI in said. So that word is not said. I've heard people say said for that word. It's not said, it's said. The AI there says the sound E. And then the AY in says. Please take note that when you spell the word say and you say S-A-Y, it says say. But when you add the S, the AY becomes E. And so it says and not says. The E in vest, that's a very common spelling for the sound E, which is the letter E. So the E in vest says E. And finally, the EA in bread also says E. So you have the words there. You have many said, says, vest, and bread. We'll look at the next set of words. Remember, we said there are 10 spelling variants for the sound e, and we've taken 5 of them. We're going to take the other 5, and these are the words. We're talking about friend. And there you have IE in friend, saying e. We have leisure. Take note that word is pronounced leisure, not leisure. I've heard people say, do it at your leisure. No, the EI doesn't say E, it says E, so you go leisure. And of course, the final sound there is not O, so you don't go leisure. Rather, you go leisure. The final sound there being the schwa, leisure. The next word we have there is also a commonly mispronounced word. A lot of people go leopard. But no, it's not leopard. It's Leo when it's standing alone, but when you add the part, it becomes leopard. Leopard, and not part anyway. It's leopard, leopard. That's how you pronounce that word. It can also remind you of the word jeopardy. So the word is not jeopardy. Do not go about saying you put our lives in jeopardy. Rather, the word is jeopardy. So jeopardy, leopard, those are 2 words where EO says E and not EO. The next word we have there is bury. The U there has the E sound, and the UE in guests. The UE says E. So you have friend, leisure, leopard, bury, and guests. So 10 spelling variants for the E sound, and you have the 10 words that we've taken with the E sound. Remember that the topic we're taking today is the vowel E, and we're looking at word examples and spelling variants for the E sound. So I hope that at this point you've been able to get something out of the lesson. That's the vowel E. Vowel number 3. We've looked at 10 spelling variants for the sound, and we've looked at 10 word examples. If you have any questions,